Hello, everyone. Hello, Dallas, and hello and welcome to all my global viewers. And thank you so much for joining Asia News Facebook Live and YouTube Live program today. And this is your global Gupshup host, Benakatti, with you every Saturday. And those who are joining first time, Asia News is a very well-known broadcasting media serving the community with the quality programs just for you throughout the week, presenting a variety programs from different countries as well as throughout the USA as well. You can enjoy variety programs like a yoga, meditation,
Hey, the antenna right for now.
religious discourse, and social, economic, political, and entertainment news through this global Gupshup show. So thank you so much again for joining. And so today I'm going to have a special co-host with me, so who will be also participating for today's special show. And she has been also associated with the Indian Space Research Organization, so-called ISRO, and also more specifically with the Satellite Center ISAC for almost over 30 years, I should say. And so she started her project, like as a project coordinator and led as a senior scientist of an organization. And she has also co-authored many scientific papers and project specifications, technical manuals, and the satellite configuration documents as well. So she was one of the key person responsible for success of India's first small satellite, HAMSAT, and various other ones to mention crucial missions of ISRO, like Cartosat, Anusat, Astrosat, Chandrayaan, and Mangalyaan as well. So it's a pleasure to let her have here, and because she's also well recognized by government of India, Sri APJ Abdul Kalam, and Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee for her dynamic work and contribution for the space science. So she has pocketed many awards as well. So President's Guide Medal, representing Karnataka, Best Actress, of course, and she's also a good dancer, musician, dynamic leader, and outstanding contributor to space science by Space Officers Association. So it's a pleasure welcoming my co-host Vidya Sagar to the show. Thank you, Vidya, for joining. It's a pleasure having you. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun today. So, folks, I think this is almost time that we all have been eagerly, excitingly waiting, because I know that you all are waiting for this moment. So I'm not going to take too long. And today we have in our studio, the most achieved and very prominent, well recognized, and the major contributor to the history of Indian space science. He is popularly known as the I don't have to say many times, Moon Man of India, and has been listed among the 100 global thinkers of 2014, received more than 100 awards, including national, international, for his work in space technology, including the most prestigious award of Padma Shri from Government of India, Rajyotsava Prashasti Award from State of Karnataka government, and ISRO Outstanding Achievement Award in 2008. And also Space Pioneer Award in 2009. So these are the most prestigious awards, other than just, like these are very few that I can mention, because his list goes on and on and on, his amazing achievements. And during his 36 years of service with ISRO as a director and, of ISAC Bangalore, he successfully led two of the major, the missions, especially Chandrayaan 1, 2, and then also Mangalyaan. And of course, you already must have guessed, and it's not very hard. He's a very well-known Indian scientist currently working as a vice president of Tamil Nadu Council of Science and Technology, chairman, board of government, national design and research forum. And it's my pleasure and honor to welcome one and only Dr.Mylswamy Annadurai to the show. Thank you, sir, for joining, and thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to meet you and talk to you. So now that we have, I think let's start the fun. So Vidya, I'm going to start, and then you can actually take the seat. So let me start with the very personal the question. So we all know that you have come from a small village, Kotawadi near
Yeah,
Coimbatore,
yeah,
and your school was a government school, and you went to a very small college. And I mean, it's an amazing that here you are with the highest awards of achievement, reaching to the moon, coming from a big family with the five siblings,
yeah.
I should say. So tell me, like, how important is a family support for a person for such a, like a great, this achievement? Like, what is it to you that, to have a supporting family?
Yeah, I think supporting family point of view, look at there, yeah, rightly told, we are
Uh-huh.
basically from the rural area. But
Uh-huh.
notwithstanding that, my father being the first person who got
Mhm.
not higher education, rather, he went to the higher secondary school. So he became a teacher. And
Mhm.
that I think that is probably he's the one, he felt education is the one which next generation can take forward. And that is the very way I think he has seen to that
Mhm.
within our family, even from the starting.
Mhm.
Education, education, education. I think that is the
Right.
thing. I think next to what we feed, I think education is the one which in part of our life we brought in
Right.
various ways, and
Okay.
I think that is the one which has culminated
Mhm.
to where we stand. I think that is the basic foundation. What happened is basically in the home, making to
Right.
feel education is a very very important for your upcoming.
Right. 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 I think so. Vidya, go ahead. Like, I know that you have other ones that we were talking about. Exactly. Go ahead. So.
No, sir, actually, your basic education and all that, after you joined this role, the
Yeah.
growth has been very exponential.
Mm.
How was that? What span of time
Yeah, I think
initially?
to me, I think the basic foundation also started in the schooling itself. As my father told, education they always used to have an incremental improvement over what you are now. Okay,
Mhm.
that is always looking for. For example, just put a simple sentence. Before joining my school, how to get prepared to go to the school, I was doing, and once
Right.
in the first standard. I was supposed to already know that when they write, definitely I was knowing it. So that means when first standard, I was uh, going to the second standard book. So that was always one step ahead of where you are. I think that is the one probably brought me where I am today. So that's basically that is the thing. And everywhere, I think even you look at summer vacation of SSLC writing to waiting for PO. I think PO book, the science and mathematics point of view, I have completed the syllabus during
Wow.
that time. So it's
Wow.
always one step ahead.
One step ahead. Oh, wow. Okay. So, sir, were you also punished as any other kid, like, very strictly by your father? I know that he was a
Yeah.
teacher.
No, no, I don't know. No, no, he is not a strict brother, but he expects what he wanted. Through him, he will model. Okay. For example, early morning reading the newspaper and listening to the radio. Those days, TVs are not there. Listening to the
Mhm.
news of the Agashwani, not All India Radio. I think this
Mhm.
he was particular. But what he will do is he will get up and get ready and sitting. So when he is sitting, we all five of us will be sitting and listening. Okay. And the same thing with respect to, for example, Ambuli Mama, in Tamil they will call that Chandamama. So that I think there is no reason for him to read because being a headmaster of an elementary school, he need not read, but he reads. Looking at that, we will also look at that and read that. So that's how beyond even school books to read something, to learn something, and listen something. I think this
Right.
is the fundamental thing what is called for education point of view. Today's education that he taught us in nearly 50 years back.
Right. Right. So that's a great foundation that you think that
Yeah,
every child should have that.
yeah.
So that it is. So, Vidya, you want anything? So I hope we answered your question. So. So I think so going forward, like I'm very curious about something. Like I
Yeah.
know that you wrote a lot of books in Tamil, and I think you
Okay.
strongly believe that the learning in your own mother tongue will give you higher strength of expression, as well as giving yourself a chance to learn much better than any other language. So just we want to hear more about it, why would you say that, and how it worked with you as well.
Yeah. Basically, look at here the language, mother tongue, from where my mother tongue is a very, very rich in the literature and very, very good big legacy. That
Right.
is the basic thing. And second thing is, originally my idea of my plan was to uh, be good in the language. But now slowly I came to know I is getting more marks in the mathematics and science. So I have to go to mathematics and science, keeping language birthday. But still, the learning that science and thinking about that, what you get and what you get absorbed in the mother tongue, if it comes naturally. I think that's how I felt it. Okay,
Right.
so that's the reason I definitely am telling whatever happened, like whatever my father was trying to tell, something similar I'm trying to tell. When where I am here, one is education, another one is basic education, basic thing up to 11th standard. My schooling, well, many people like that only, but my schooling is full and full in my local language, and
Right.
only one language paper used to come after fifth standard. Okay, even ABCD we learned only after that. Of course, though because of my father, I learned a bit early, but this is a situation. So with this background, definitely I used to tell our thinking, our assimilation, our getting the things back in your mother tongue, you can do it better, especially in science, where you need your own way of thinking, your way of putting it there,
True.
your own way of translating what you observe into a thing. So these all the things put together, what you read, what you think, and what you assimilate, if everything in a seamlessly one language, I think that takes you to the minds. Definitely, it's my experience. I think that is
Wow.
across the world also people feel like that.
Of course, of course. So, Vidya, I'm handing
But
it
you
over to you. So,
attempted
go
to
ahead.
write in other languages as well, no, sir? Or
Okay,
has the
we are
books been translated?
okay, we are an attempt for translation point of view,
Right.
but otherwise I am good at in Tamil. But I allow the people to translate my thing into one book has come in Kannada also.
Oh,
But
really? Wow.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
want to
yeah,
have the
yes,
first copy of it.
yes, that's what I
With,
was getting to.
and with your, of course, autograph. So, right. So, we'll definitely want to have that. And so, um, well, I mean, I know it's going to be something funny I'm going to ask you. So, I somewhere you're tweeting, saying that your wife said that that you have more attraction towards Moon and Mars. So, what did you do that that made her say that? So, what was that
Okay,
that
no, no.
occasion?
This basically look at here natural. Say what I told is I have more towards the literature, and as well
Right.
as I used to write lyrics in Tamil. And
Okay.
whomever has this tendency, definitely towards moon, that attraction will be there.
Oh,
It's quite natural.
oh.
It's quite natural. And
Uh-huh.
beyond that, you look at where, as I rightly told, my village didn't have an electricity
Mhm.
until my age of 10. Even the street lights are not there. So we
Oh,
have the
okay.
pristine sky to watch, where
Uh-huh.
the moon is predominant and the stars
Uh-huh.
in the
Mhm.
backdrop. So that way, I think I grown up like this, and that's how it's become a part and parcel of uh,
Well, so that's a very nice explanation. So that it sounds funny, but that's such a deeper meaning to it. So thank you. So yeah, Vidya, go ahead. Can you hear me? Can you hear, sir? I think there is a little delayed.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Delays.
yeah. So uh, go ahead, dear. Just ask. I think you have a couple of questions also that you wanted to ask. Okay, until she
Yeah,
gets, probably I think I'm going to go
yeah,
ahead and continue. So sir, coming to the actual projects that you have been assigned to this wonderful this crucial, the very first project that when they hand it over to you and then you just like, the leading everything. So,
Hmm.
I mean, what was your reaction? Like, how did you feel that, I have to literally take over that? And then, I mean, what kind of a preparation that you had to make for Chandrayaan, just when it was assigned to you? And then, because since it was a very first mission that everyone had like a very high expectation from you.
Yeah, it was really a big turning point for me, and that being a transition, every transitions, everyone will think about and ponder out that. So I was comfortable, reasonably comfortable in the communication satellite, national communication satellites work. But this
Okay.
transition when it came, two things. One is from comfortable zone, we are coming a new zone.
Right.
Second thing is after a long time, nearly 40 years later of the moon landing and many things happened, a remote sensing, very modest mission going there. What exactly we are going to do? So that question was there even within me. Though it's more of a political decision to go for a Chandrayaan one with
Mhm.
technology and other things backdrop. But no, towards that, definitely to convince myself, yes, going to the moon has a meaning. I think yeah, I gone through a lot of the literatures, especially uh, the proponents from US who are again even pestering NASA to go for to the moon for various reasons. One is to understand the moon still better way and science point of view. Another thing is to use the moon as a resource. The two different way people are talking about, and a good number of articles were there, and a good number of science instruments also getting ready to go to the moon. That level they were there, but within NASA they were debating. So when looking at that and this, then I thought there is an opportunity. Even we go back to the moon after 40 years, possibility of we are doing our own identification in the moon. I think somehow it
Right.
has come to me. So this is the one definitely I taken to the team. The team was kind of a very young team because they typically ISRO thought this will take minimum 10 to 12 years. So that's the reason when I was given this opportunity, I was 45, and all my colleagues were even younger than me, assuming that before the retirement they will able to complete the project. That's how they thought. But definitely we have regrouped ourselves and with the conviction, with the conviction, there is a reason to go to the moon at the earliest, so that we can make the presence felt. Possibly to go back to the moon, go back to the moon. I think this is what I was
Go
asking,
back to
and today
right.
that's what happening in the across the globe. Go back to the moon is a mission that's come. So that way, I think the original conviction of taking this mission and whatever we have done, I think it looks reasonably okay. But yes, initially I got a jittery. Whether we can do it really, whether we can make it. Budget was very modest. Our launch vehicle is the PSLV. That what it can take is less, and the team is totally a young team, and so young and dynamic, energetic, but the expertise missing.
Very
So put
true.
together, we had initial difficulty, but I think all those issues can become really a
Right.
positive for us to
Right.
do think new, uh, do better, and do
Right.
cheaper, and do faster, and again make the presence of felt uh, in Chandrayaan one itself, making our tricolor flag hitting on the moon. Okay, we
Wow.
have done
Yes.
Chandrayaan 1.
Yes.
And subsequently, yes, discovery of water on
That's
the moon
great
also
pleasure.
happened. So that way,
Right.
I think it's become one of the historical feat in the history of Indian science.
Right. Right. So were you also prepared, like just in case that how hard it was for you also, like because I know it is at the corner of your mind, like even 98%, and there is a chance of 2% that it could fail, and how I can handle it. So that also hit you sometime that when you were planning on this and you were
Yeah,
prepared.
I used to tell all my colleagues in the space
Okay.
science, nothing called 99.99 success. It
Oh
is
wow.
100. It should be 100. Nothing other than that.
Oh
Because
wow.
it is like an open well. You are jumping. You are crossing. You have
Mhm.
to cross 100%, minimum 100%. Okay,
Mhm.
or else you are not crossing.
That's it. Right.
So this is the there everyone's mind. We should definitely succeed in uh,
Right.
100%. There is no option. I think this is what NASA statement also. Failure
Mhm.
is no option. But
Right.
my thing is 100%, no
Mhm.
option other than 100%.
Option. Wow, wow. So Vidya, go ahead. I mean, you worked with the, several of those, like amazing scientists. So I'm very sure that it's an honor to be on that, like a part of the team to work with them. So
Sir,
yeah, I
how
mean,
did you face the cost-cutting challenge?
I didn't get you. Can you
yeah,
repeat?
can you repeat the question, Vidya? How did I think the internet is
That
not
voice just didn't come nice. How
right,
don't you
right,
face
right.
some challenge to solve
I
it?
think, yeah. Can you repeat, Vidya? Can you repeat the
Working
question?
with sir has been amazing. Sir,
Right.
how did you face the challenge of cost-cutting?
Cost
Okay,
cutting.
cost cutting.
Okay.
Okay, cost cutting again. It is a part and parcel of their life. Okay,
Sir, you
we,
said we cut cost,
yeah, 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 yeah.
we
That's
made
what.
it
That's
at a
what.
lesser
When you look at
price
here,
than what it was.
we have to succeed in the first attempt. That is very, very clear. So that being the
Yeah,
case, one simple thing
yeah,
is
sir, how cost-cutting? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. One simple thing is any mission of this caliber, nominally they will go 3 or 4 models they will make. One
Mhm.
verification model, engineering model, qualification model. Finally, it goes for the flight to go to the moon. Never ever in the world they made only one hardware that went to the moon. It was done by Chandrayaan 1.
Right.
Okay, that means one-fourth of the cost they have done right there itself. Okay,
Wow.
once instead of making a 4 hardware, you're making a 1 hardware, the
Mhm.
material cost, other things coming down. Then schedule also coming down because the schedule and cost has its own implication. So these two catered very, very, very nice. Over and above that, possibly we are supposed to spend slightly more for the other network, other cost point of view. But luckily, we had an opportunity of announcement of opportunity. A good number of foreign space agencies, including NASA, were part of the mission and later portion. So that helped us to have a network with relatively lesser cost, and that also helped in a big way. So all the things put together, our attempt of yes, we should succeed first attempt and make only one model and make it as fast as possible and as simple as possible, as simple as possible also. So then bringing the other uh, national international cooperation,
Mhm.
overall put together, we are able to bring down the cost much cheaper.
So that is really an
And
amazing.
another thing is elsewhere. I think the launch vehicles are very heavy lift launch vehicles, and the launch
Right.
vehicle cost also comes to the project. But here the PSLV is a very compact, I think, and very cost effective. When we're talking about 2008,
Right.
PSLV cost was very less, less than 100 crore Indian rupees.
Right. So, just connecting to that question, I know that this like engine that I think I believe it has taken 9 to 10 months, if I'm right, that it has to
That's for
stay there.
Mangalyaan. That's for
Mangalyaan.
Mangalyaan. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
how did we make sure that it stayed in the good condition, even though like with the cost cutting everything, and it has to make sure. So, the what about the safety and everything? Like, was was that feasible
Yeah,
to?
yeah. Basically, look at here. The similar hardwares done nearly a year back, uh, kept in the our laboratories, and that launched was we had very good history, very good history to first start with, keeping stored in the earth and used for the mission. We had a very good history. That way, somehow I had a confidence even after 9 months it can
Mhm.
work. But notwithstanding that, it goes in a space. Space is
Wow.
different from what we stored in the ground. So that way, it called for another retest. I think
Right.
that's how they simulated that 9 months journey and
Uh-huh.
simulated that conditions back in the earth. It was done
Uh-huh.
parallelly. And then anyhow, we are going en route also. Before
Uh-huh.
going to the doing the final maneuver,
Uh-huh.
we had a test firing of checking whether this works. There's
Uh-huh.
an abundant precaution so that final maneuver had happened. Or else we must use the alternate path. We may be very
Uh-huh.
tedious, but still we got an alternate path using other 20 Newton thrusters. But it could
Uh-huh.
have been a very tedious job. But notwithstanding that, the backup, this
Uh-huh.
one is initial confidence. Second thing is en route, ensure the temperatures, other things, you are not violating the conditions what happened in the ground except vacuum. And
Uh-huh.
third thing is before the real final maneuver,
Right.
real Mars, do a test firing, and
Uh-huh.
that backed by a ground system simulation and test with the realistic hardware,
Uh-huh.
whether it has any implication after long storage, that checking that also was done. All put
Uh-huh.
together, I think we are sure and the D-Day, the LAM will fire, even though beyond of visibility, because everything is commanded and kept there, and it goes when the Mangalyaan goes behind the Mars, this action takes place. So if everything goes only, we can come out if the visibility are next. So that way, I think we have done reasonably well this mission with the controlled experiments, the controlled operations, and with the good confidence.
Wow, that's so like working with so many of those young scientists with your guidance, it must be very hard. And also one more the challenging question that I think what I want to address is I know that the purpose was to find the source of water, if I'm correct, on Moon. So how
Yeah.
successful was that? And then give us a little bit of a details, like it's a curiosity. A lot of us don't know, what it means. Then finding
Yeah.
H2O there. So yeah.
Yeah. So now as I told some time back, I told what new we are going to make, what incremental
Right.
new we are going to make. For that, definitely I called for a good of literature survey, and there the two of the proponents, as I told, one is to understand the moon better way in science. One team, another team to make use of the moon for the better resources point of view. But two of the top scientists, one Dr. Carla Peters from Brown University, and another one, Dr. Paul Studis from John Hopkins University. Both of them, they basically they look for various reasons, but both are looking for the same identification. One is looking for water, search for water, of course, in terms of the whole mineral composition of the whole moon, and understand the science. In that, water also comes one portion. But another person purely trying to look for the frozen water in the form of ice in the poles. And these two people approached me whether an opportunity can be given in Chandrayaan to fly. I think that is the transition. So that point of onwards, in the mind, yes, Chandrayaan 1 should be the first mission to discover water on the moon. And there we included in a moon impact probe. We came subsequently with the Kalam's intervention. We came another instrument called moon impact probe. That after reaching 100-kilometer polar orbit, Chandrayaan 1 will throw away a small 35 kg probe. In that probe, we kept a mass spectrometer. That mass spectrometer is trying to sniff through the tenuous atmosphere of the moon and trying to understand whether any mass numbers are there. And from there, try to decipher what surface, because if it is there, that should come from the surface of the moon. So what surface features contains, okay? So these are all the things we have done. So that way we carried a good number of instruments to identify the water presence either in the atmosphere, surface, subsurface. And when November 14th of 2008, when our moon impact probe was going down to along with the tricolor flag with this mass spectrometer, it has seen from 70-kilometer onwards has keep falling the moon impact probe until it touched down. It was seeing the mass number of 18 is keep picking up, among other things. So mass number 18 corresponds to water. Hydrogen is mass number 1, 2 hydrogen, oxygen mass number 16.
16.
So 16 18. So mass number 18 corresponds to presence of water molecules in the tenuous atmosphere of the moon. That means that should have come from the surface of the moon only.
Moon.
So the first day itself, we had a signature.
Wow.
Then subsequently, using a moon mineralogy mapper and synthetic aperture radar of Dr. Paul Studis, we could give the water map of the moon, okay, and even the ice in the poles in the various craters have been identified. So this is the subsequent history, but it started from the November 14th of 2018 using a mass spectrometer.
Okay, so that must be very exciting when we found out that
Absolutely. Because I know that day Dr. Kalam was behind us. Just one class
I was
partition
going to
was.
ask, yes, how did he feel that?
Between us and Dr. Kalam. But notwithstanding that, we actually, after the signature being seen, to replay the data and to look for the signature, whatever I told now is it one confirmed. So I took nearly 35-40 minutes, even after the moon impact probe landed, so that everything is successful. where we
Right.
have done, and the signature is okay. So it was really great. And then when I came out, he told to Kalam, yes, I think not only tricolor flag landed, and we have the signatures possibly.
Wow.
Something better we will tell to the world.
So just
I think
unbelievable pleasure that.
subsequently, Dr. Kalam, in his book called Turning Point, after various
Okay.
books he has written in Turning Point, he listed turning points of his life, Kalam's life.
Wow.
Okay, one such event is this. I think one such event is discovery of water on the moon. For that, how his original idea of moon impact probe and this put together, we have done it. I think it's really a wonderful event.
Of course, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing such an exciting moment with us. So Vidya, do you have anything in connection with that to the questions? Do you want to ask her something that's that you have anything to connecting that question to ask? Go ahead.
Muted.
It's unfortunately the
Yeah, I
internet.
mean, sir, actually, people see you equivalent to APJ, sir.
No, that is
Yes,
too much.
yes.
What is,
No, no, no. I think a lot of similarities. So how close were you working with him? And then, I mean, so similar. I'm sure that, you must have
yeah,
learned
I
a
said,
lot from
sir,
him,
people equate you almost to APJ, sir.
right?
No, it was a
Yeah,
different.
bad internet connection.
But yes, basically look at there.
Mm-hmm.
He is very very elderly to me because he is very senior to me. And
Mm-hmm.
the year I joined ISRO, I don't know why
You,
how it happened. Kalam left ISRO and went to DRDO. That's
Okay.
the thing. But notwithstanding that, I think we had many occasions we met because of our common interest.
yeah,
We met and we used to discuss. And one being the being given he was the president of India itself. When we presented the project report in Udaipur on conference, Kalam himself was being a president of India. When the whole the community in that hall appreciated our configuration of the Chandrayaan as on that day. Kalam was not really that much impressed, and he called me and told, I think something better we should do, such that the first mission Chandrayaan itself, we should ensure our tricolor flag of India lands on the moon. I think this is what
Wow.
his one-line specification what to do. But it was really tough for tall order requirements. Or it's a very, very tall order because already we agreed for some of the instruments, a good number of instruments from foreign, and as well as our instruments all put together. Already we touched the limit of PSLV. Then he told, yes, it's difficult, I know that, but that's the reason I'm telling to you. I think you can do it like that, he told. Then I think we worked back once again 6 months. Even though configuration was finalized, we were about to go for the metal cutting. Once again, he worked back and identified that moon impact probe. Of course, all along, Kalam was in with us when we are doing all these things. That's the reason he wanted to come not on the launch day, though President of India. He wanted to come when the moon impact probe really lands on the moon. And that's what really happened. That's what, of course, he was telling all the time. And even for the launch day, after the launch successful, when I contacted, he told, yes, everything is nice. Then I told, sir, everything is nice, but disappointment is you have not come. Everybody is telling.
Oh.
No, no, no. I will come on. Then I will come subsequent. He told subsequent days I will come. Then if you are coming subsequent days, you are not coming now. The October 22nd, I told. You come on November 14th. Then he asked, why November 14th? So that is the day your baby moon impact probe is going to land on the
Oh.
moon. Okay. He laughed. He laughed. I
Well,
said,
that
yes,
definitely is a baby. Yes. So
and,
that we
and
can
he
we
told yes,
can.
and he told yes, he will do it November 14th because, but I'm eager to come even before that. But November 14th means nearly 3 weeks later than the launch. So he wanted to see all of us the earliest. But when I told you come on November 14th, I think he agreed and he came, and
Right.
it became a historic event.
Wow, that's an amazing moment to even, just we can't even think of it like in how must have felt when, like all this happened. It just is so easy. So, uh,
Also, he will give a forward and he will tell what can be written, what can be added, what can be subtracted. So we had our
yeah.
that way. That's
so okay, Vidya, you want to go ahead? I know that she had a lot of questions, and I think unfortunately the internet is not cooperating well. Um, so okay, let me.
yeah.
Okay,
You can go.
let me go ahead and go to the next one. This is a very I mean I don't know, like a very commoner cannot understand. Probably these are the very magic words I should say, that like So when we heard about something called reaching,
Yeah, I was just wanting to ask, sir. Uh,
go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I have bad connection today.
No worries. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah,
Uh-oh, I think we lost
yeah,
her again.
yeah, yeah.
My apologies, guys. So I was actually asking, so like, it is kind of like a very unknown word for us. Like, that as a scientist, probably it's very familiar. But like, when we heard about something called reaching near the side of the moon, something like I believe South Polar region,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is where. So if we had made, then we would have been the first one, that is the most successful one. So just tell us, sir, like, what it means, and then, like how, we actually missed it in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, you look at here the Chandrayaan 1 itself, we targeted that because that is an unexplored area. And as I told previously,
Mhm,
many scientists across the globe, especially the people who are
mhm,
particularly in the lunar side, they are looking for the poles, and South Pole is better for other logistic point of view. And that's why
okay.
even Chandrayaan 1 itself we targeted. I think still our tricolor flag is there in that thing we targeted.
Of
And
course, yeah.
Chandrayaan subsequently we have discovered water on the moon. When we are talking
Mhm,
about that, it's more of towards the pole, and especially in South Pole. And
okay.
that's why when we are trying to go back to the moon, now we will go
Mhm,
back to the moon. It will not be the places where originally US or USSR of erstwhile USSR landed and
mhm,
brought back the sample. Then they are all predominantly near side and near the equator, moon equator area. But now we are going to Chandrayaan 1 has seen, yes, we have the potentially more fertile in terms of water and other things. South Pole is better. So, science point of view also it's better. And that's the reason Chandrayaan 2 and subsequent missions, even I think now subsequent missions, whatever going, also going target the poles. And that's way back to the moon is back to the pole of the moon, not even the moon, but to the
moon,
poles of the
full
moon.
of,
So
right,
towards that, I
right,
think
right.
uh, Chandrayaan 1 made really giving the seeding.
Mhm,
Chandrayaan 2 made an attempt, okay,
okay.
but it's becoming an unsuccessful. But yes,
Mhm,
our hardware is there in that pole, but we could not softly land because the
yeah.
similar thing happened in Chandrayaan 1 itself. And
Mhm,
we had the pictures until it last hit, last frame. We
mhm,
had and where even landed and named as Jawgardal. Today, Jawgardal is a Indian name
mhm,
behind the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru,
mhm,
former Prime Minister of India, is there
mhm.
in the South
That's right.
Pole
Cool.
with their Chandrayaan 1 moon impact probe landed.
Okay, okay. So so well,
So,
another
what are the challenges that we faced
yeah,
during
that
Mangalyaan, MOM?
right, right. You
Yeah.
can select.
Okay, Mangalyaan challenges per se, you look at here. One is the D date is fixed already. So we have to make the
Mhm.
systems ready before that
Within
date.
that.
We have to do that. And down now the task, tall order of task is good percent of the missions have gone to the Mars. Basically happened to be a failure. And that being the backdrop, we have to do it fast and still we have to do better. It is a contradicting situation. And as usual, our budget also is reasonably less. And really go ahead to go to the Mars. Mangalyaan came from Government of India just 11 months before the uh, D date. It was really a truly critical situation. But
Mhm.
notwithstanding that, mentally somehow I was feeling we have the hardware. That hardware we can make it to go to the Mars. So we had taken initial steps. We have taken everything. Uh, it would have been a much more challenge if the real approval has not come. But luckily, the approval, even though later it
Mhm.
came, that helped us to expedite all the things together. And
Okay.
now you look at here how what we have done Chandrayaan 1.
Mhm.
Similar way,
Mhm.
except target being the means of moon to Mars,
Mhm.
same PSLV. Almost hardware is same except upgradation to ensure the long range communication. Everything is almost same. So that being that means here also we could manage with the single hardware, and that hardware almost similar to Chandrayaan 1. But whatever Chandrayaan 1 also we got some lessons. That lessons learned have been corrected in this some mission Mangalyaan. So I took an opportunity to showcase Chandrayaan 1 success is not just a luck. I think we can repeat it once again. We can repeat it. I think that's the challenge we have taken. So that too, not once again to the moon. I think even to the Mars, where the success rate is much less than the moon. So that way, this hardware we took it a challenge. It is beyond Chandrayaan 1 also we can do. Especially Chandrayaan 1 give us some pedestal. From there we can jump much better height. So that way it's beyond the budget, beyond government's approval. It is our own self-made challenge. Yes, we should show to the world we can do better than what we ourselves we have done previous years.
So yeah, for the first time that we started working with the international, like a globally, that in different countries, that like so how did that achievement felt like just collaboration with the other countries to just like, okay, we also are standing in the line with you guys. So how did it feel?
Yeah. This is more like coming back to my schooling to college. I think most of my colleagues also acknowledge that, because as I told, we are all most of my colleagues also, they have the mother tongue only, they have their schooling. But when to go to the college, everything including mathematics is coming to the English. So it's a tough time to get accustomed with that. I think something similar.
Okay.
Though we all talk English, the English coming from Western countries different,
countries.
and the culture is different. Okay, and the work cultures are different, and time difference is more. Okay, geographical locations and time difference, everything is more. It's a really more like a cultural shock. Okay, beyond even the professional thing, cultural shock. But I think our people rise to the occasion and even brought them also down. I think both happened. Okay, and they also understood what we are, and we also rise to the occasion. I think that's what happened there. So when we go to the college, pre-university, the lecturers they will come down to teach us, and we will get up
go
to
after.
go up there. So this is how the things happening. I think that's what really happened, and that's exactly people have acknowledged it. The couple of awards what Chandrayaan 1 received. One such is meant for the international cooperation. The first such mission we have done at that level, and the people have acknowledged it is I think it's a really marvelous. So that way, initially, yes, we had a doubt, but I think yes, many of us entering into college, we got some tough time, but we came out flying colors. I think same thing happened in Chandrayaan project also.
Without ragging.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect one to do that. So Vidya, you had something about like, I know that she said that a lot of women colleagues that you all worked with, you had an amazing perseverance. Like, you had such a great patience to work with all of them, especially. So I'm always I always wanted to ask you, like, how did you like, I don't know to what level that you have to listen, and just the listening ears are the more important than talking. So how do you, how did you manage with that?
Yeah, I think to understand the people, I think that's listening is always better, and it's up to you to take, up to you to connect, up to you to how to respond. But first and foremost, I think to understand anybody, listening is a better, and that's once you listen, I think the other person also understands that he understands you. That is the first step for any gap to bridge,
Capture.
and any gap to do that. I think reasonably well I have done. Hopefully I have done reasonably
Oh,
well.
you have done a complete justice to that, sir. I can tell you, because we know that we are in that shoes, and so it's definitely hats off to you for sure for giving that credit. So, and coming
Very
well,
well.
right, yes. And as
Yeah.
a matter of fact, like we were also talking about women empowerment, that in this current field, like this, we have come from a long way, and just our thinking process has changed, and we have been from rock bottom to this, like we raised all the way to space. So during that, like, tell us, like, you have worked with an amazing women scientists, engineers, and technicians, and you name it, and mathematicians. So how is it comparable to making a decision when it comes to the, like, especially the critical decisions, like how do you judge that, or what is your take on that?
The first and foremost, I think in ISRO,
Uh-huh.
presently we don't have much discrimination between from where it comes the idea, from
Okay.
where the solution comes. Basically, what matters is the merit of the idea, merit of the
Yes.
solution. I think
Wow.
that's the foremost thing. I
That's
think that definitely it is. That's how the leadership of ISRO is come. That's why ISRO is relatively different from the
mm-hmm.
other government of India institutions in India today. I think that we have done that. So, that being the backdrop, I think today you look at here, the whomever enters in ISRO, entering ISRO is not simple, because
Mm-hmm.
our
Oh, yes.
way of interviews or way of screening, the
Mm-hmm.
whomever enters, it's only the creamy layer, the only enters. So once
Mm-hmm.
that is taken care, so that the down the line, it's immaterial whether it's coming from a man or woman. It's immaterial, because
Mm-hmm.
all are equal. Because that's what I'm telling. Because when you are entering into ISRO, it's because nearly 150,000 candidates will apply for mere
Wow.
2 positions. Okay, so that means someone is someone is a part of ISRO, whether boy or girl, it's immaterial. Is one among that 100,000.
That
Okay,
specific.
so
Okay.
that way, already that is there. So now it is only how they make use of ISRO, and
Mm-hmm.
how they will understand ISRO's requirement, how they
Mm-hmm.
understand the existing problem, how they
Mm-hmm.
are coming with the solution. I think that's only matters. I think that's how today.
Mm-hmm.
I think ISRO is doing really well, and the people whomever they have come on our own, purely on their individual merits. Absolutely no differentiation.
Yes.
Note of that one. So wow, that's a, well, it is very encouraging to hear that, because I think that like we all are in this
Yes.
century, that
Yes.
we are making an amazing progress,
Yeah.
and because of that kind of encouragement. So we also wanted to ask a few of the, like we got some of the questions from our audience also, like so one of them is ISRO using 100% indigenously, that produced parts of our space program, that is like our own?
No, it is not. We cannot read 100%.
It
100%
is.
brain, but
Uh-huh.
some materials, yes, we will come from outside. Okay, the
So
brain
if,
point, I think I can tell it's 100%.
of
Okay,
course, of course.
but of course, if you look at here,
Uh-huh.
this set of areas, this set of give and take,
Uh-huh.
is not very much. This one. I think, to my knowledge, no country, no space agency
Uh-huh.
can claim 100%. No space agency. I can that much I can tell. Okay,
Okay.
it is
Okay.
interdependence is there, but
Right.
only the level of interdependence may vary.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, I think among the scientists and technologists, this
Uh-huh.
give and take, I think
Okay.
it is there. Bottom line, it is there.
Okay.
That I can tell you. But only the level of that will may vary one country to
Okay.
another. One country may not tell. Okay,
Okay.
but how they got
Okay.
it, somebody only should dig and see that.
Right.
Otherwise, I think.
Right. So that if it is not 100% and approximately, like so what is our dependency on the imports, like that some of them, like at least
Okay.
in the current
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah, current situations, I think we will be telling components, other thing point of view, nearly some 30% will be there. But
Okay.
lot of effort going on to make it indigenously also. We have the
Okay.
semiconductor complex limited. So that is doing, especially this electronic devices.
Right.
And the materials point of view, a good number of things also happening there. So that way, I think reasonably good efforts going on to make it in India, as Prime Minister of India tells. And but notwithstanding that, this technology is always advances. Whatever you catch, something goes ahead. Okay,
Right.
but
Right.
for that you have to depend on somebody. That's what happens.
So,
For
see,
example,
one of
everything you have done here for the when you got the manned mission. So manned
right.
mission required technologies are different from whatever you acquire today,
Right.
indigenous. So for that,
Right.
something you will do. So this
Right.
is always once
Something.
you can tell yes on today I have done, but tomorrow whatever technology comes need not be relying on what you have done today. That's
Right.
also another catch point.
Okay. Okay. So we always talked about a cryogenic engines. So any approximate time that we can expect, like when it's going to be, like we our
No,
own produce,
no,
we can.
our cryogenic missions already have launched. For
Oh,
example,
it
even
is.
Mongolia is actually other generation thing. But only thing is heavy lift point of view. There's some more thing going on. Otherwise, we are already into the thing. All our launches, except for
Uh,
two, three, all our launches by indigenous cryo.
Mm-hmm.
Russian cryos were used only for some 3 or 4 launches.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, subsequent launches, all of communication mission launched from
Mm-hmm.
Sriharikota carried
Mm-hmm.
indigenous cryogenic engine,
Mm-hmm.
including the latest
yeah, well,
Chandrayaan 2 when we launched
Mm-hmm.
from Mark 3.
Mm-hmm.
That is also an improved version of
Hold on.
cryogenic. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of research going on to improve the overall the performance of the system. And and soon ISRO may come out with its own semi-cryogenic engine. Okay,
Right.
and
Right.
that's also another language. So that way, I think cryogenic today we are definitely is
Definitely.
so
Right.
indigenous system is there.
Okay. Okay. So Vidya, are you able to communicate now? That is this better? That you think you can hear us and then you can ask more questions, or is it still you're having any internet? I think it's kind of interference
Yeah,
that she's
yeah,
having a hard time connecting with us. So
yeah, yeah.
one of the like I know that we have introduced.
I think it is better now.
Okay. Okay. So it's like a make in
No,
India.
yeah,
Yeah,
with the internet today, I don't know.
So sorry, actually, I know that we
Just,
wanted to hear from you, but unfortunately, we are not being able to connect you properly. It's a little bit of inconvenience, but glad that we can at least see you. That so you're a part of this,
yeah.
this valuable show. That I'm very happy to have you here. So for sure. So let me quickly ask you one more thing that I know that we talked about, like the Made in India project. So and we are facing a very critical
yeah.
pandemic now, and then so the upcoming projects like 21, 22 that we probably might have had all of them that planned. So how is that going to affect?
Yeah, it's really across the world, this is an issue because the way
Right.
in which we work may be difficult to continue the same way in which we do for
Mm-hmm.
some time to come. Some time to come. But
Mm-hmm.
notwithstanding that, we have to somehow we should understand the system and
Mm-hmm.
get accommodate this without affecting the individuals, the people who are working around. And towards that, I think a good number of activities going on. And
Mm-hmm.
definitely in, I understand US already launches already going on,
Right.
and
Right.
lessons learned from there, and
Mm-hmm.
versus way in which India specific how you can socially can be distanced, not the same place, something like that. I think good amount of activities going on. For
Right.
example, on Sriharikota when we launched, uh,
Mm-hmm.
eh, from the integrating the satellite and integrating the various stages, ground system people, including the satellite, the control center. Everybody is to be manned. A few hundred people will be there in Sriharikota. This is a normal scene we used to do. But now I think that similar condition probably a question mark it comes. So, but we have other places like, for example, control center. could have been there hundreds of kilometers away. They like this US is there, and I know French Guyana also. Sometimes they can do it from other place. So that way, relocated place. So that means only the launch team and the integration team alone. So that minimally they can see to that. And whereas the other team, which normally you will see in TV, that can be even previously also miles from the launch phase they will be sitting. But this can be even hundreds of miles away also possible. So that way, if you do, we can do the social distancing, but still technically we can meet. It's just one of the way the lunches can take place to get back. And over and above that, individual work centers they follow their own the social distancing, how the hygienic, always
Right.
hygienic, but it should be much more better with respect to the COVID type of issues. So this
Right.
is how being addressed to that because we have somehow we have to catch it up where we left. I think
Right.
that's will happen. But
Right.
notwithstanding that, we cannot avoid the delays. The
Right.
delays,
Right,
whatever
right. So it has
happens.
slowed down. Right.
Yeah.
So, well, it's good to hear that nothing, at least it has not stopped, and then with the precautions that we are moving forward, that is a good news because I know that this is one of the most
Yeah.
promising projects and missions that we cannot really say
Correct.
no to that. And
Yeah.
so, one of our audience, I think they just sent that: is there a reservation system for recruiting ISRO scientists, or it is purely merit? That's the question.
To the best of my knowledge, no.
No. Okay.
It is,
Okay.
it is
So
no
I
only.
figured.
Yeah, I don't know what happens tomorrow. I'm telling you about it. Not it.
Okay. Okay.
That's
So
what I
I
told.
mean,
Interview itself I told. No, there is no reservation in any form. No form
right.
of reservation. That
Hmm.
whomever comes, it comes purely on the merit. Purely on the
Right.
merit. Absolutely.
Right. 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 So, sir, I'm going to ask you like a very personal question now. So, how do you actually, like, how is your typical day, like, working day goes by? Like, let's start with like when you are working. I'm sure that 15 hours out of 24 hours that you will be working, especially during these intense missions and projects that are at the deadline. So, what was your typical day like? Like, how did you, handle that kind of a stress? What did you do?
No, I think
Mm-hmm.
basically this is how we normally used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, our normal operations, everything should be
Mm-hmm.
as planned as we go.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have the reserve to attend to the any untoward or any unforeseen
Mm-hmm.
situation. So we should be all our energies and our equipment should be such
Mm-hmm.
that something unseen comes at the utmost that I should be ready to that fullest level. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the foremost thing. For that,
Okay.
we should do our regular jobs in a planned way. When we do
Right.
regular jobs planned way, if it goes,
Uh-huh.
then you will not get fed up for to complete the regular job. Okay,
Okay.
but anything untoward comes, yes, you can because you are not, but you yourself, you are physically,
Mm-hmm.
mentally, you are psychologically, you are
Mm-hmm.
fit to work to attend to that thing. I think this is
Right.
the bottom line of the whole thing. So that's why we
Mm-hmm.
have worked with the as far as I was there. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, even now it continues. Yeah, it started from the ISRO systems point of view.
Uh-huh.
Everyone has his own timetable, schedule, and this
Right.
meeting or not meeting. So our
Uh-huh.
routine status reviews, other things will take care of.
Uh-huh.
Everything is going as per the plan. But notwithstanding
Okay.
that, there will be a team also working. What
Uh-huh.
unforeseen can we see, foresee. Okay, that also they
Mm-hmm.
work for that. And towards that
Mm-hmm.
also they keep getting ready for that. In case that comes, immediately someone will tell, yes, it has come, and you
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Do it.
So that is
Right.
the way planned activity and
Mm-hmm.
unforeseen also try to foresee and be ready. In spite
Mm-hmm.
of that unforeseen comes, you should be ready at least
Mm-hmm.
in with all your faculties with respect to physical, mental, and psychologically. You are ready to
Absolutely.
attend. I think this is the bottom line.
Right. Right. So was there any like a specific relief of kind of a like a stress that you all follow to some extent? Because I'm very sure that to
Yeah, yeah. I agree. But nominally, some people will tell shouting at somebody else you can relieve. That I don't follow. That I don't follow. Okay. But basically, yeah. Actually, that is one of the reason. I think I used to read as much as possible, even beyond
Oh
scientific
wow.
text, and
Okay.
used to write also, and used to
Okay.
write. That's as of now, for 5 books I have written. Of course, though everything is in our my mother tongue. But
Mm-hmm.
notwithstanding that, in the newspaper column also I used to write. So that
Okay.
way, I used to spend my time, occupy my mind as much as possible. I think
Possible.
that is
Best
that is the
way to relieve. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
Otherwise, don't allow the mind to dwell on something not wanted.
what?
Okay,
Right.
use it for
Right.
something useful. I think that is the main way of
Okay.
how you can relieve your pressure.
Okay, so you can guide yourself. So now that you are actually retired, and now that you're in a completely different field, so tell us, like, how do you feel and what do you do and how do you keep yourself busy, and like, what is your the schedule like and what do you do? Take us you
Yeah,
did like a little bit there.
my daily routine point of view, nothing has changed. My daily routine
Okay.
point, nothing, absolute nothing has changed. Because the number of hours, whatever I sleep, number of hours I wake up, number of hours, whatever I read, I think everything almost remains same. Slightly more, I can tell you even slightly more. I also did that. Slightly more, slightly intense. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
way there. Because
Mm-hmm.
the two questions where one
Mm-hmm.
whatever is given it
Mm-hmm.
allows me to engage myself uh, uh, various institutions. Previously,
Okay.
only with this in the four walls of ISRO I was working.
Right.
Now I think I have the liberty to work in various universities and institutions, paying minds.
Okay.
I think they're all because of this iconic thing of Chandrayaan Mangalyaan. They
Right.
also aligned with me at the earliest. That's what that
Right.
also happened. So because
Right.
of that, some of the projects which we have not thought about quite some time, or we even
Mm-hmm.
thought about, we are not realized in the previous years.
Awesome.
I think
Mm-hmm.
reasonably well we'll able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the space, I think back to the earth. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and a
Mm-hmm.
couple of projects we have identified, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully in coming months you will be see the initial lights of that thing. And
Mm-hmm.
towards that, I'm engaging myself uh, technically,
Mm-hmm.
try to guide the team of people in the different institutions. I'm sitting with them, talking with them, and
Mm-hmm.
doing. So that way, I can tell you daily, I will have minimum 3 or 4 webinars for with the students
Wow.
on the specific, like our Chandrayaan Mangalyaan project.
Mm-hmm.
We formed actual project teams actually
Wow.
in the within the institutions, and
Right.
they're all very fully charged. I think those people will be with me through a webinar.
Mm.
You won't believe, even the directors of the
Oh.
IIT, they are all very soon. How they are engaging you
Mm.
around 11 o'clock.
To
Okay, and,
so
that's the situation. I think that they are also given good freedom with me to
right.
interact with them,
Wow.
and I am also doing reasonably well, and to occupy my time, my energy, and my possible expertise. Yeah.
Okay. So what are your hobbies, sir? Actually, other than these, like, what is your favorite thing to do?
I don't believe the word hobby first and foremost. Okay,
Okay. That's
because
okay.
as far I am concerned,
First with
you have to enjoy the life, full life.
Right.
Okay, nothing
Right.
called hobby for 1 hour and remaining
Just
there
so
was no
right.
problem. I think each and every part of the life is worth
It's a
to
very
cherish
good.
and worth to enjoy. I think that to be frank, I am for that.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I talk, whatever I listen, whatever I write,
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes in that way. Something I don't like, I don't like. That's all. That's simple as that. I will not dwell. That's what I dwell not dwell. I rely on how what I can like to something else. Okay,
Okay.
and
Wow,
that
that's
I will try to align myself as much as possible. If I'm not able to align, I think that's
mm-hmm.
okay. I will get out and be so that your life,
Mm-hmm.
your days, your months, or your years
Totally.
are always yours. So, okay, it is as good as a hobby. Even ISRO
Wow.
work, I tell the people, if you are going an excursion to US or Paris,
Mm-hmm.
and that excursion somebody is paying for you, how
Mm-hmm.
you will feel? I think that's the work for ISRO's work, and that is the
Mm-hmm.
work even whatever I'm doing now also. In
Mm-hmm.
spite of the work, whatever like somebody is paying for me, I think nobody will get that. Okay, no, none of the hobby
Mm-hmm.
will give you that much amount of return. Okay,
Return. Right.
and that way
Right.
I
Right.
think that is the thing. Yeah.
So every moment is valuable, is what a take-home message from what you said. So that
Yeah.
just use it very, like preciously. So that's an amazing message. Actually, it's a very wonderful message that for a young,
Even if
especially younger
yeah,
generation.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Especially even if you tell a hobby, we
Mm-hmm.
will be setting that time only for that activity.
Right.
Be it
Right. Right. Right.
outing, be it watching a TV, be it listening to music. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a particular time or something like that. But when it
Mm-hmm.
comes, it comes. That's the way. But to keep
Right. Right.
moving so that every moment is a new.
Right. Sir, actually, yeah, go ahead, Vidya. Let's try the last one. Come on, you can do it. let's give it a try. Let's see. I know that. Can you hear us?
The delay is there. It looks.
Yes, I think it's very. It's looping also for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why. Yeah, I think she's having a little hard time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So can you talk about your social outreach if you have the time? Yeah.
Okay, social outreach.
Bad time today.
I'm there on and off in Facebook because I could not fully engage in the Facebook point of view. So that happens. That happens. Of course, I have a good number of friends, some 25,000 plus. They are there. Yes, I engage them and keep doing that. That's that. But it's only a small portion of my activity.
Right. So that's definitely keeping him busy. I can see that, it's like a Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, social media. I think that's a wonderful use of
in this virtual world now, in this pandemic, this social outreach is what gets you to people. So that's what I was asking. How is he coping with that?
That's right. Even this time, I'm engaging myself with the students. University students, good number of people are ready to spend the time very effectively. So that's how mostly the time is gone. And soon we are seeing a product which will make our local made making a international presence. I think that's what we are aiming. Sooner it may happen. Back in Tamil Nadu and back in India, I think maybe across states also it may happen. I'm working on that, and sooner that will happen. So my time is engaged towards working with the students and the industrial partners to make some of the products which will make our presence felt. In spite of the pandemic, we rose to the occasion and we come out with in a bigger way.
Wow, that's really good. Yeah, that's something that like we all have to think about situation, that. Say that again.
Yeah. So has this pandemic situation affected economically? I said, has this pandemic situation economically affected the project of ISRO?
Yeah, I think he
no,
did.
That's okay. Anyway, today I'm outside ISRO, so I will not able to tell. As far as I'm concerned, I think, I'm not able to, because this across the departments we had the crunch because this.
Okay. How different is the role?
No, today as I am outside ISRO, I don't want to comment too much on that.
Okay, so that makes sense. So, sir, if I may ask you that, like in case if in the future that we are going to do something more advanced one, so and if you are invited, will you be interested, or you will come back and then lead the team again?
Yeah, I think various such things, various circles people are asking. I'm looking into that.
Wow.
And see the time, because time also matters, because today's time, whatever we tell, the way in which we are going to realize until the pandemic clears, we are not clear. Because it's not possible to move around. For the time being, I want to avoid my moving around as much as possible. That is very clear. Okay, but I should be safe. Not only I can do something better. So that something is hold. But with this condition only, what I'm trying to do in and around this students I'm doing. But as I told, there are something offering that I have to. We have to think how
differently.
Maybe after, but we will make something after now.
Right. So another, sir, actually, this is a very interesting one that I'm going to approach you. That I know that you know all your projects, missions. Like even in a sleep. That I'm very sure that you can answer that one if we say that. But I think we want to get to know you how well. and it's going to be a very quick. So like they say that, it's not a rocket science. So I'm going to ask you a very quick questions, and then you have to answer this one in less than a second or two. So I'm going to give you those real quick one. This is not a hard one. So you're ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so this is not hard. It's going to be all, this will give us an opportunity to get to know you quickly in less than 10-15 seconds. So
Rapid
that's
fire.
the whole idea. Rapid fire, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is all about your favorites. So I'm going to just mention it and then just go ahead and say that. So you're ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So your favorite food.
Italy.
Cartoon.
Cartoon Lakshmans.
Ooh, okay. Color.
Wow.
Color red.
Okay. Star.
Hello?
The
What?
star.
Orion.
Star. Oh,
Orion.
Orion. Okay. Okay. So what about the orbit?
Orbit, Chandrayaan orbit.
Knew it.
That was
Okay.
expected.
Now I'm gonna put you into trouble. Favorite family member?
My father.
Oh, Prime Minister.
Maybe the one who is going to come, probably.
Okay, one is going to come. That's a very smart answer. And a favorite movie?
Favorite movie, I think I have to think. Because the old MGR movies all I liked.
Oh, okay. All that. Okay, vacation place.
Vacation place, my hometown.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's okay. So your all-time favorite book?
All-time favorite book, I think even today I read Bhagavad Gita, just a few feet away from there.
That's
Since
cheating,
my,
sir. That's cheating. Come on, you have to give me the right answer.
it's really, daily I'm reading that. Daily I
No,
do.
I'm just yes. I'm
I
just.
show you, you see the condition of the book itself. It is
Okay.
50 years old.
Okay.
50
So,
years old.
well,
In my,
it's amazing. That's very nice. It was a great talking to you, and it was amazing, and we really had a great time. And I really am grateful on behalf of our team for giving this great opportunity to get to know you, and also,
Yes.
thank you for sharing such an awesome information with us. And hopefully, in the future, also with the new projects, we would love to join. And definitely we want to continue this one and then have you over again on our channel. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much for watching this as well to our audience. And we'll be bringing more of this one as we go every Saturday. And thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening and morning and whatever the time that you have globally. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. What a shame, my God.
Wait, Vidya, wait, hold on just a second.